Hello, stranger. I have the best goods that you could ever need during your travels.
Then show me what you have.
Only the best for an adventurer like you.
Not now.
Hey, you've been out in the wilderness, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm looking for a guy, and I wonder if you've seen him. He's called Ray. He's an outlaw with a big mouth on him. Bit of a waste. You haven't...
No, I...
Yeah? Well, if you do find Ray, can you let me know? Damned animal!
sensible decision.
Damn, I got him. I'm gonna be with you in a second. Fuck. Damn, I got him. I'm gonna be with you in a second. Fuck. Damn, I got him. I'm gonna be with you in a second. Fuck.
Nah.
Welcome to the camp of the impure, where the poor souls barred from the city stand and wait for the Alps to kill them. Welcome to the camp of the impure.
What do you want here?
Souls barred from the city stand and wait for the Alps. We don't want anything here. We want to be in there, in the city, as the law says we can, as the law says we should be. Those clerics are supposed to uphold the law, yet here we are. The gate's closed to us.
I want to get into the city. Can you get me in?
Have you tried to get in yet?
No, not yet.
Well, seeing as you're not... If he refuses to let you in, then come back and speak to me. I might know how you can get by the gate guard.
I can't say that any more clearly.
I don't have the shard, so that's not gonna happen.
The Elex. The Elex is behind most of this. I can feel it.
Hey, well, yeah. Yeah?
Halt! Not a step further. No one is allowed into the city without an entry permit.
Have there been any Alb attacks here recently?
With Zakor on our northern border, there are always Alb troops coming through on their way somewhere, but they don't seem to be attacking us here for the moment.
But have you heard anything about Alexiters traveling through Abessa?
Yeah, I have now that you mention it. Alexiter Calyx was reported to have headed north with a few combat units and a troop of mechs.
Elexiter Calyx, so he's been promoted. Tell me, how long ago did Alexiter Calyx head north?
A few days ago. They must be back at the Ice Palace in Zakor by now. What's with the interest in Alexiters? You go chasing them, you'll just find trouble. And I don't want them tracing that trouble back here.
I'm asking so I can avoid them.
Don't treat me like a rookie. You sound like someone who wants a showdown. So let me give you a warning. That approach is gonna get you and anyone close to you killed.
Where can I get an entry ID?
You can't. We're full. We're short of supplies. So the decision has come down to close the gates. The full allocation of entry IDs has been given out, and we have instructions not to let anyone else in. Those outlaws have us stretched enough as it is. I'm not saying... But until law and order is reestablished, we can't risk any more... You'll have to wait till all this is over and done with. Say, there's a bunch of others who can't get in who've taken up residence in some houses near here. Why don't you join up with them? Halt! Not a step further. Known as a...
I want to get into the city. Can you get me in?
Have you tried to get in yet?
Yes. I went to the gate.
And? You got turned away, right?
I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Okay. I can offer you a way to get into the city, but it's risky because you might not get out again. At least not if they confiscate your ID.
Just get me in there.
All right. I just hope things don't go the same way they did with Cooper. The clerics have shut the city up tight. They won't let anyone who doesn't have a valid ID through the gate. Not in, not out.
Why would the clerics stop people leaving the city?
They're stopping them meeting up with us. That's what I heard. Paranoid assholes. Anyway, we're off the point. You want in, right? And I can give you a counterfeit ID that will get you in. But, once you're inside there, I need you to go and take an ID card to Cooper. That way he can come back out again. Like I say, I can get you in, but I also need you to help me out. You good with that? Does that sound like a deal?
Deal. Give me the ID, and I'll meet Cooper.
Good. Right, that's the plan. Long term. You see, Wick has all the blank IDs. So before I can get you an ID, I need you to get me Wick.
Where is Wick?
Well, that there is a good question. You see, he's been gone for a while. He'd gone over to the ruins to see if there was anything worth scavenging there, and hasn't come back. You should look for him over to the northwest if you're in a hurry to get into the city. Just look through all the houses. He should still be there, scavenging.
The fight is the only thing that matters. That makes a real man.
This world has so much to give. I know you.
Nah.
Do you feel the same way?
Fuck all of them. I hope they drown in their own shit.
There's nothing here. There's nothing here.
Broadcasting from the orbits of warning all species. Stay safe in the wilderness. life awaits you in the service of Magalan. That is the word of Kalan. That is the word of Ignadon. And this is the word of Toba, broadcasting to all the people, all the time.
No, I'm not good enough for that.
This world has so much to give. I know you can say that.
Someone's gotta sort this shit out before we drown in it.
Something like that.
Wick is dead, but I found the ID cards on his body.
Dead? Shit. I told him whatever was there wasn't worth the risk. But Wick would do anything if it would mean him getting 2 shards he could tap together. Ah, well, give me the blank ID card. I'll work it up for you now. So, done. 1 fake ID ready to go.
Give me the counterfeit ID.
Okay, wait a second. Your image has to be added there first. So, done. Here's your ID. And this is the ID for Cooper. Take it to him. But make sure the clerics don't see it, see him, or see you handing this over. And do it as soon as you get in there. He's been at risk too long as it is. We don't need him being held, or worse, turned into a vegetable by the suggesters.
I've heard a lot about that. I'm not sure I believe it.
Halt! Not a step further. No one is allowed into the city without an entry permit.
I have an entry ID. Let me through.
Really? And you were here asking about getting ID before. So tell me where you got this one.
It's mine.
All right. I'll believe you this once. I've got to be wary. That desert gang of outlaws is always trying to find ways to get by me. Oh, and there are some rules I need to tell you before you enter. First, stay away from the generators. Nobody but the technicians is allowed access to them. That sort of security is why we need to keep an eye on IDs. So if you meet someone who's in the city illegally, report them to us immediately. And Eric will take care of them. We can only keep peace in the city if we all work together, and we keep the city secure. That's what was laid down by the Great Council of Magalan. And the Great Council gave the clerics the responsibility for guaranteeing the city's independence. That means everyone is welcome here, until they cause trouble. So keep the peace while you're in there. Our suggesters are busy enough without you adding to their workload. And that's it. You may pass.
You shouldn't stand around talking about these things.
You have things to do. Go and do them.
So, you come here from Goliath?
Goliath? No.
Not now.
I was exiled to the valley before I came here, but I hid myself in a crate and got brought up.
What's happening in this?
Well, the Domed City is a refuge for all. Outlaws, berserker, clerics, anyone who wants to be somewhere other than their homeland. Being away from home, that makes keeping order difficult sometimes. The outlaws are the worst. They don't understand rules or sharing, or in some cases, that people have a right to stay alive.
You don't seem to like outlaws.
All people are welcome here. The Domed City is a refuge for all. But that means all, not just outlaws. There's a half-dozen outlaws hanging around outside the city at the old farm now. They just want to get in to cause trouble. I mean, we got everyone settled down and living together, and those outlaws, I just wish they'd disappear.
Are you here to seek shelter or to cause problems? This area is a sanctuary for refugees. There's nothing here for reavers, recruiters, or troublemakers.
I'm not a reaver.
Then I hope that means you're here to help.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people can make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. They have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to defuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliath all over again.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
Have you been exiled from Goliath?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me. Try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of Elex, to learn more about it.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? Elex marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took Elex in the past. Is that what you're seeing? Or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an Alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed Elex in one form or another. It's changed us. And neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexiters. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the Elex you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an Alb. I know Elex and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I change my mind.
Stop being an asshole.
No, you won't get my help right now. You'll have to deal with things yourself. I can't help you right now.
Hey, who's there?
Hey, you.
Let me guess. I'm not allowed into the upper quarter?
What? No, everyone's allowed to move about freely here. I just have a question for you. You got here recently, right? I just want to know what things are like outside the dome. What's going on out there? Are the Albs attacking?
There are raids, but there have been no major assaults recently.
I'm sure that's just the calm before the storm. I just hope the dome holds. There's a lot of people depending on this dome of mine, so they pass us by like a river around a rock. Kalan gave us the knowledge, and now look what we've achieved. A safe harbor for all people. The clerics and Ignodons say we've strayed. I say we've found the true path.
You built the dome?
I designed the plans for it. Then we built it together. My name is Eric, by the way. Chief engineer here in the dome.
I'm in charge of all the generators and technicians who oversee them.
Why don't the clerics have a dome like this in Igniton?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an Albatech?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting to malfunction again.
Malfunctioning energy regulator?
Of course I am.
Am I crazy, or is our generator...
Hey, who's there?
Who is that?
You escaped in a crate?
Fucking elves. They'll cost all of us.
This teleporter is active. It appears to be connected to another near the Hort in Ignadon.
What kept you?
I'm here now.
So you are. And are you planning on telling me where you've set up camp or what comes next? Or do I have to wait for that too?
Okay, I'll tell you what's happened so far.
You've done a lot, but you still have got a lot of work ahead of you. Or we have.
And we're not going to get where we need to without a jetpack.
Don't worry, I know how to use one of those. I'll keep up with you. Now can we talk about my problem?
You said you wanted to study the properties of Elex. How will you do that?
I can feel the presence of Elex. Mostly where it's present in great quantities.
Like the converter?
You don't need any special powers to feel the Elex there. No, I'm talking about unrefined Elex. When it's raw, latent. I can learn more from it when it hasn't been altered. I want to explore Magalan and look for some large deposits of unrefined Elex.
Deposits? I thought Elex arrived with the comet.
You're right. Part of its power is that it isn't from here. I want to discover how it is spread across Magalan. But when it is processed by the Alps, the Elex changes. It becomes polarized. The transmuted form that the Berserkers get from their mana shrine changes it in similar ways. That keeps some of its power, but it's the Elex that came with the comet that I want to learn more about. I feel that there are secrets to learn about it. To understand those secrets, I need it untouched, pure Elex.
How are you?
I'm okay. I can see that you're struggling with your emotions. It must seem more natural to fall back on logic alone. I'll try to assist you in your struggle in any way I can. People will only follow you if you can understand the world from their perspective, if you truly support their interests.
Follow me.
All right.
What's a suggester?
Our suggesters are the reason things remain peaceful in the city. If someone causes trouble, then they're either thrown out, see a suggester for reorientation, or both. But don't worry, it's a positive experience that will leave you happy about life. Even so, I recommend avoiding it.
Halt, stranger. Not another step. You're walking on the holy ground of Kalan. The only people allowed in here are clerics, recruits, or traders with permits.
The clerics say they lead the free people, yet here they are closing their gate to us.
Suck it up and live with it, Berserker.
Where am I?
You are in Ignadon, at the Hort, the stronghold of the clerics, the repository of Magalan's knowledge, and the last bastion of the free people against the threat of the Alps.
So how can I get in?
Sorry, I thought I made that clear. You can only enter the Hort if you are a cleric, a recruit, or you have a trading permit.
I want to become a cleric.
Find a suggester who considers you worthy. There are suggesters recruiting across all the lands of Magalan. Perhaps you've not met one because they don't consider you worthy. But if you want to look, try Raynor. He is recruiting men throughout Abessa.
Can you recruit me?
No. I am not authorized to recruit new acolytes.
Here. Is this enough to persuade you to let me in?
I'm going to pretend you didn't try to offer me a bribe. That sort of thing might work in Tavar, but here in Ignadon, it's an insult to my honor. Although, it has given me an idea. Accepting charge is forbidden, but if you could take care of some business for me, that would honor Kalan. And perhaps persuade me that you entering the Hort was for official business.
What is this business you need taken care of?
Well, I'm glad you're interested, but I can't really talk about this now. There's an inspection due any time. We'll talk about this later.
You have a deal.
Good, right. Unless you've got any you won't find Kalan's commandments too strict. You should know that anyone bringing initiates into the Hort will be responsible for them. All initiates must be clear of mind. Chems are forbidden. Anyone found taking them will need to report to the suggesters for re-education. All who are clear of mind must hear Kalan's words. All must adhere to his wisdom, and tell others of it. For we need to recruit. We've taken losses in our battle with the Alps, and now the Berserkers and the Outlaws are trying to take advantage of that. Which is crazy! If we fall, then who is going to stop the Alps sweeping all the free people from Magalan? Those who wish to join us must come to the Hort to train. The successful ones become acolytes. That's it. Briefing over. You are free to move about Hort.
The clerics think they were blessed by their god. What sort of a god would make you live here?
You don't like it?
This place seems to want to devour all natural light. And with light fades life.
Where did they pick you up? You look like you've walked through the whole Alb War to get here. Here, take this. It looks like you could use it. Just don't tell anyone, all right?
Thank you. We must all work together.
Yeah, it's nice to know at least one other person gets that. Reaching out, it's the only way to prove we mean what we say.
You want me to keep food secret?
We're short of a lot of things, which means rationing, which means paperwork, blah blah. But if someone's stomach is growling, I'd rather deal with that first, then get to the tick boxes. From now on, though, you'll have to fit in with the daily rations. Once a day, in the refectory. It might not be tasty, but it'll keep you alive. The daily rations are free for our happy family of clerics. Everyone else has to pay.
whoa, watch yourself there. It's not safe around here. Trust me, you gotta watch your step. Otherwise, you'll end up squashed flatter than an Alp's conscience. Just be careful, all right?
You think I should be afraid of a few rocks?
Yes, those rocks weigh a hell of a lot, meaning if they fall, there won't be a hell of a lot left of you. But don't let me keep you with all my chatter. I've got to get back at it. I'm reckoning you're not that into ore extraction techniques anyway.
You bang rocks together, right?
Yeah, right. While there are those, there's not a...
You farm the rock?
And feed the production lines. They tried to fully automate the process. They claim it's too tricky for robots. I think it's just too tricky for the programmers. They assumed mining was easy, and so... Ha! Several flat robots proved them wrong. Well, producing... not the crot, but maybe...
Do you need something doing here?
Maybe. That...
Who is prowling around here? Hey, is there something you're looking for? I'm here to trade, and I can offer you...
What goods have you got?
Of course.
What goods have you got?
Of course.
You didn't come here to pray, did you? I can spot the devout. And you don't look like you're here to ask for divine assistance, am I right?
You're wrong. I'm here for Kalan.
Really? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who didn't want to see the truth about themselves. You know, there is a reason why I wanted to talk to you. For all the thirst for knowledge in this place, people can be a little... focused. They want logic, straight answers. They forbid anyone from looking deeper into things. And that's crazy. I mean, knowledge is wisdom. Wisdom brings you closer to Kalan. So what's wrong with getting some answers? Which brings me to you. I'm betting you have answers, and I'm betting you're the curious type.
I don't want any trouble.
Who's talking about trouble? It's a trivial matter, really. But then I guess that's why I keep getting in trouble. So, are you going to help me?
Tell me your problem.
Have you ever heard of the Prophet Arvid?
No. Should I have?
Oh, yeah. He's the founder of our order. The reason why the clerics exist.
Tell me about Arvid.
Well, sure. Okay. Like I said, he's the founder of our order. He was born about 200 years ago, we think, and he was the first to be enlightened by Kalan. After the comet hit, it was his burden and his privilege to lead people into a new future, to save those who had survived. The first followers were here, in the Horde. They had saved technology from destruction, and Kalan showed them how that technology could be used to help all the people of Magalan. They reached out to others, but not everyone listened. You can see what became of the rest when you look to Tavar.
What did Arvid do?
He wrote the rules that have bound us here in the Horde. And our ancestors began research on how Elex could be used for the good of all. With it, even though our community was small, we were able to defend ourselves from the malice of the godless.
All seems a bit vague.
Yes, I know. I mean, some details have been lost in time. Some believe Arvid still remains among us, although that is nonsense. Some uneducated people wanted to proclaim him a god, even during his lifetime, but he always spurned this idea. It is likely that he saw his time coming. According to the lore, grief about the unreasonableness of people tore him apart from the inside. And when he could take the pain no longer, It is said that he left the people with the words of Kalan and went into the Great Light. Scholars are still arguing to this day about what the Great Light is exactly. Some say that he rose to heaven, to Kalan. Others claim that he set forth to find the reason for the crater. But that's exactly my point. I want to know more, but only certain scholars are allowed to see the text. But there's something about Arvid, something about those early works that doesn't make sense. And I can't work out why. But will they let me in the archives to study his writings? No. I sneaked in, they threw me out. I was lucky to avoid re-education. Concentrate on what's right here, right now, they told me. It is only possible to change the future if you draw the correct conclusions from the past, they said.
So you need access to the archives?
No. Well, yeah, that would be great, but for now, I just need a book. All that I want is a copy of Arvid's teachings. There has to be a written copy, or a recorded copy somewhere. It's just not available to us out here. And that bugs me. So, do you think you can get into the archives and get it for me?
Who says I'll help you?
Nobody. I beg you. I want to understand why they won't teach us these things. I would like to give you the following, in any case, before you are on your way. I am certain that I can get something from the recordings that will be of use to all of us. Then, maybe, I'll finally understand what our purpose is.
I will get you the book from the archives.
Thank you. This is one mystery I can't wait to solve.
Teach me.
Yeah?